Hey there, welcome to this next training. We have talked to about up to this point all about setting up our classroom and what to include, how to go through our files and make sure that we are optimizing our IEP paperwork. And now we're going to talk about the essentials for planning your academic year. With curriculum mapping and special ed, it's so important to help lay out what you're going to teach all year long, know your standards, and then break down from there the different things you'll teach for each week, each month, and each day. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. So if you are here and you're a brand new teacher, welcome. If you're a veteran teacher, welcome. Or maybe you're changing positions and just need some fresh ideas, again, welcome. I am excited that you are here. As we jump into it, like the days previous, we have a guide just for today. And in this guide, we'll be referencing some of the materials here, but there are also curriculum mapping and information here that you can go through to help you with planning out your year. So let's talk about what curriculum mapping is first. So curriculum mapping, it's a methodological process used to plan and organize the educational content that teaches all that you as a teacher will use all year long. Um, and three things to consider when talking about curriculum mapping is comprehensive coverage, alignment with your IEP goals, and a collaborative framework. When you consider these three things, it allows you to really thread a strong foundation for what you are covering. So curriculum mapping serves as a critical tool in strategic planning, helping special educators to systematically approach their instructional design while focusing on maximizing student success and engagement. So maybe you're thinking, why do I even need to do a curriculum map? And that's a very good question. And here are four benefits of having a curriculum map and why doing it now will be so imperative in having a successful year as a special education teacher. It not only improves student performance, but it allows you to facilitate a differentiation of instruction of those standards. It allows you to align to your standards, whether you're working on general ed content or maybe an alternate standard, and it promotes reflective practice. So, this curriculum mapping is a strategic approach that brings numerous benefits to the educational process, particularly in planning and ensuring alignment with those academic standards. So when you have the curriculum mapping tool, there's one in your guide for today. It allows you to have an educational landscape that aligns with the standards, but also enhances the overall quality and effectiveness in the education that you're providing the learners that you work with. This is especially effective for self-contained teachers to make sure you're covering your different topics um, and ideas for your different grade bands. A lot of times self-contained teachers don't just teach one grade, it's two or three or even more grades. And this allows you to really hone in and get flexible into what all needs to be covered for your different learners. And it provides structure, flexibility, and it provides the best optimal learning experience for your learners. So let's talk about a step-by-step guide into creating this curriculum map. Number one is the developmental of your framework. In the guide, you have a kind of a template for you to use. First, you need to find your state like standards, but and also review the data. You should have already reviewed the data yesterday and the previous training, knowing what your goals are, identifying any gaps or overlaps from those present levels of performance, but allowing yourself time to look at the framework of the curriculum that you need to be teaching. And then we're going to, from there, pull up our standards, our state standards, and we're going to use the template or the map that is in our download for today and map out the design for your plan of what you're going to teach. Start with one subject. Like the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. You don't have to do all the subjects all in one sitting, but you can if you want. But starting with one subject and maybe looking at your different grade bands and seeing what you're going to be doing in comprehension. And then for me, it's a lot of like phonics or grammar, handwriting. And so breaking down those skills throughout the school year allows me to make sure I'm not presenting overwhelm, but it also builds on to each other so that we're covering all the standards, we're covering all the grade bands, and that we're able to incorporate adaptations as needed. Then we're going to develop that curriculum framework. We're going to start once we have the big ideas out for the different quarters for the year. We're going to then break it into monthly goals, setting learning objectives for our class and our grade bands. And then from there, we're going to be able to integrate. We can do any kind of life skills that we want to work on, social skills, any maybe community-based instruction or field trips. So we are able to integrate across different content, skills, and elements for our learners. And then once we've done that for each and every subject, we're going to have this big map of what to teach for the whole year, what to teach in the month, what to teach in the week. And this really allows us to review and revise as we head into the first 9 weeks. And then once that first 9 weeks is over, maybe that first week is over, you're able to adjust and collaborate and make revisions as needed. Because the beauty of this is it's getting you started, but you can pivot. But it really allows you to kind of create a pacing guide of what to teach so that as you are working smarter, not harder, and using templates to help you create lesson plans and just input the information for the upcoming week, it allows you to speed up the process significantly. And by kind of taking a deep dive into the curriculum, you're able to know what all you need to cover throughout the year. So aligning our curriculum maps with state standards isn't just about compliance here. It's about ensuring that every lesson that we teach in our classrooms builds a solid foundation, paving the way for students' academic success and lifelong learning. So to make sure that we have some practical tips, because that's really key here to maximize our curriculum mapping, I want you to take this curriculum mapping page from the guide today and pull out your state standards. Make sure you have access to them digitally or you have it printed. And if you have access to any kind of essential questions or objectives for your state standards, those will come in handy too. Also knowing when any kind of big assessments are, whether that's baseline, mid-year, end of the year, it allows you to kind of dump your ideas into each one of these sections for each one of the 9 weeks. There's one for all four with your standards for your grade levels, and then you can kind of work backwards from there. So a major challenge when working with curriculum mapping is adapting to all of our different diverse learning needs. You may have students with CVI needs, vision needs. You may have students that have assistive technology needs, and they use an AT device that you have to build things into their Tobii Dynavox. You may have learners that need more of an errorless kind of activity, but with a general topic of what needs to be covered. And you may have kids that need 2 and 3 answer choices when you're asking them questions, maybe even with visuals. But it doesn't have to be this huge overwhelm when creating this curriculum mapping and adapting for the diverse needs of a special education classroom. We want to create flexible curriculum maps that can accommodate all of our learners. And that's why on day one, we wanted to build a space and make sure that we are starting day one with a strong foundation of the environment that we're building. And then at day two, we looked at truly looking at the IEPs, what the goals are, setting that foundation of what all we are targeting so that we can train our team and collaborate with the other professionals that work with our learners, but now to really create a plan to teach them all year long to hit and grow with those standards while also meeting those IEP goals as well. So this includes planning various instructional materials, alignment options, and ranges of difficulty. You can have errorless activities and you can have worksheets that are higher order of thinking. Regular collaboration here with other fellow special education professionals. Talk with your SLP, talk to your occupational therapist, talk to your paraprofessionals. Creates an adaptability and effectiveness for your curriculum map to ensure that the curriculum is meeting all of your students' needs. So by creating a robust curriculum map at the start of the year or during the summer, it sets a powerful precedent for success for you and your classroom. It organizes and clarifies a path forward, allowing special education teachers to focus more on teaching and less on the paperwork as the year progresses. So, with that said, things to think about as you are planning for your year out ahead. I encourage you to print off these curriculum mapping pages, or again, use them in an iPad with the GoodNotes or whatever program you prefer. But think about these following areas based on the grade band that you have: academic skills, social emotional learning, functional skills, vocational skills, technology skills, PE or health, and art and music. Now, you may not have to include all of these based on the range that you are teaching this year, but these are some of the areas you may want to consider. So, as we finish up this training here today, I want to really encourage you to get the download for today and get access to that, and then get into the Facebook group. If you're not already, be an active part in there and let me know an outline of what you are working on for the upcoming year. What strategies are you going to take so that you can be successful on day one with your curriculum map? I'd love to see even a snapshot of your curriculum map planned out as you are working on it in real time, because we are truly better together. And as we knock out this curriculum map, it really sets us up for success all year long. Now, in the initial email when we first got started, there were curriculum map pages as well as like breaking things down into a monthly and a weekly kind of overview. So I encourage you to look back at that. And if you don't have access to that, let me know in the Facebook group and we'll drop that in again. But these are all printable sheets that you can use to really help you kind of brain dump all the information you want to teach and then plan it out in a tangible way. And starting today, as we finish with the downloads, we want to make sure you have access to that. So you've got a lot of homework to do today, and don't get overwhelmed. Just take it one subject and one plan at a time, but it is truly worth diving into now so that you have it mapped out before the first day of school. So I encourage you to do it. But knowing that the Exceptional Collective is officially open today, the doors open for the next week. And it's truly a comprehensive, tailor-made support system for special education teachers like you and in this membership, we are walking you through trainings each month that you can apply in your classroom as a special education teacher. There are curriculum downloads that you use in all subject areas each and every month that are available to you. There are templates as special educators to help streamline your paperwork, in addition to office hours where you can come and meet with me and ask those hard questions, work through those problems that you are having, and feel supported as you have this amazing year. So I would love to see you come and join inside there, inside the Exceptional Collective. The link will be below, as well as information to let you know about the different offerings, and we'd love to see you inside. But that is it for today's training, all about setting up your special education curriculum effectively. And make sure and get over in that Facebook group. I can't wait to see your curriculum maps.